You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Hi, everyone. I'm Davey.
I came as soon as I heard, hi, I'm Mitch.
And we are
The Bargain Bin Gamers. I'm so sorry for your loss.
And welcome to our show. This is the podcast and YouTube show where we put the gay in gaming.
Whilst also looking after your hip pocket. We are starting fabulously, Davey.
We are the world. We are the children.
Oh my God.
I know. Isn't it good to be back? It's back to be back on a Friday night. I cannot talk right now.
Wow. Mr. Podcast Man.
I'm having a stroke.
Can you smell burnt toast? It is good to be back at Bulldog. You know, we're just vibing, living our lives.
Yeah.
It's a Friday night. What else are people our age doing on a Friday night?
Exactly.
Not
Well,
podcasting.
last time we were here, it was a Wednesday night.
Damn.
And we were drunk then too, but like...
I think that it doesn't matter what day it is. We get drunk together.
Exactly,
regardless.
I know. Thank you to the Windsor Ale House, not a sponsor.
Big shout out. If you do feel like sponsoring, though, please do.
Yeah, that was a good burger. Did you enjoy your burger?
Oh my God, my burger was too big.
Yeah.
Which I've never said in my whole life, by the way. Nothing
He's
is ever
clutching his guts at the moment, listeners.
too big. Oh my goodness. I had a fried chicken burger, and let me tell you, that was a dense bird.
Yeah.
She was a big one, that one.
Yeah. This is when he tried to tell me that he thinks that turkey is a red meat, but anyway.
Listen, I'm not the most knowledgeable about poultry. I am about gaming, though.
Exactly. So
But
do the Patreon plug.
I was going to say, let me get in.
All right,
So,
sorry.
Before we begin, we would like to give a big shout out to the associate producers.
This show's associate producers.
Oh, you're joking about me mincing my words. Okay, let's roll it back maybe a minute.
Anyway, the associate producers are Sam Johnson and May M. Oh, we love you, Sam. We love you, May, and we love your money. I mean, let's be real.
I love them as people.
They're the reason why we can be here in the Bulldog Studios.
The old Bulldog.
The old Bulldogs. We can afford to rent the Bulldog Studios thanks to Sam and May.
Thank God we get to listen to the kennel next door.
We
going
do,
off.
yeah, no, the DJ next door who is actually fucking pumping those vibes.
I think it's only good to us because we've had 3 pints.
Nah, it's all right, mate. Nah, it's all right. But anyway, remember, if you would like to keep this and other BQN Network podcasts coming to you every single week, sign up to be a patron at patreon.com/BQN.
And if Patreon isn't your thing, the best way that you can help us is by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your preferred platform. It helps others find our show and listen to this, of all things.
I know. Help us grow. Help all parts of us grow. But also, if you didn't know, did you know we have a website?
I did know that, yes.
We have a website.
It's fabulous as well.
www.bargainbingamer.com, spelled GAY. MER. Yes. There's news, reviews, and all kinds of interludes.
Oh, that was good. Also, is there a final part to that?
There is. We've also got a Discord server, which you can find a link for in the episode description, where we also invite all of our queer indie devs who have been on the show in the past. So if you want to come and interact with us and our indie dev friends, please join our Discord server and make sure you head over to our website because there's lots of fun things happening. Wow. This is a rough start, but here we are, Mitchell. It's a new episode. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. One more day.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life.
Okay, we're singing 2 songs right now.
Oh.
Because like that song you're singing is great, but I'm also singing like Les Mis, where I'm like, one more day.
Never seen that.
One more dawn.
Seems a bit not only too miserable, but too gay for me.
One day more. Wow, I'm glad we're not doing video anymore.
Could you imagine? Me sitting here in my trucker hat and you sitting there swaying your hand above you.
Exactly. No one needs to see my let myself go on my honeymoon weight. It's all
You
good.
look fabulous.
Thank you.
Don't listen to yourself.
Yeah. What's been going on, Dal? How's the last week been for you?
It's been, I know it's only been a week, which is
It's
different
only
for us.
been a week.
It's been good. I've been busy. I've literally not had a second to scratch my own ass, which I usually have plenty of time for.
It's a nice ass.
Thank you. I do agree, actually.
You have a nice bum.
I agree. I've worked really hard for
Exactly.
it. What about
it
you?
It deserves a scratching.
It deserves more than that. I ain't even getting that. What about you, darling? Anything new going on?
Oh, well, just getting back to normal life as a married man, as I am, as you say.
Chuck it into the podcast wherever you can. Go
I know,
on.
exactly. I was hungover today.
Yeah, Davey showed up at the pre-pod gathering that we do, and he was like, I'm so hungover.
I was so hungover. Oh my God, I don't know how I managed to work today. So yesterday I got to MC an event, which was really, really fun. And I went out with some friends and co-workers afterwards and got absolutely rat shit.
That does not surprise me, nor the listeners.
Exactly. I may have overindulged somewhat. Like there was champagne, then there was beer, and then I was like, I'm going to switch to Negronis and have like 10 of them.
Why not?
And oh my God. And literally, I remember like leaving and everyone's like, we're going to get tacos and margaritas. And I'm like, I need to go home. But I was so like unconfident in my ability to get to the train station. I just called an Uber and sat in the gutter.
And just sat in the gutter. Wow. It's been a while since I've seen you sit in the gutter.
Yeah, well, there's... It's like muscle memory. It just
I was going to say, you take the girl out of the party, but you can't take the partner out of the girl. You're a party girl at heart.
She's the things this thing has seen.
I was going to say, but tell me less about you.
Less about me.
Yeah, please. But what have you been playing?
You know what? I've been dabbling. Dabbling because I promised myself I'm not going to talk about Pokopia today.
Thank goodness.
I know.
There's enough Pokemon coming up this episode. Spoiler.
My apartment complex is looking amazing. But no, I've actually been dabbling into a couple of new releases. So I've been playing a couple of different things. So I tried a little bit of Mouse PI for Hire.
How was?
Yeah. So I got it on the Switch too.
How much was it?
$40.
Not bad.
About $40.
Not bad.
Not bad. I would say pay 20. Put it on. No. And actually, I found out it's actually like either developed or co-developed by a company here in Melbourne.
Yeah, I think they mentioned on Joy they said,
or something like that.
There's some interwovenness from Australia.
There's some Aussie talent behind it, which is pretty cool. And look, I love it for its art style. It's very simple as a shooter.
Yes, looking at the trailer, I kind of
yeah. So you've got that whole 1930s cartoon motif going on, which looks really good. The Switch 2 does occasionally chug a little bit on frame rate.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you've got performance and quality modes on it, and I find it's good to stick to, I think it's performance mode, which locks the frame rate.
What is it, PC?
Which is fine. Well, no, Switch 2 does this stuff now.
But that's so interesting that they just haven't optimized the game for the console, but go on.
Yeah, but it's not terrible, but if you play in the unlocked frame rate, you notice the moments when the frame rate starts to chug.
We don't have a video at the moment, but my face is crinkling up at the thought
I know.
of that.
We were talking about how you need to start Botox before, but anyway.
I'm not even 30, but I do. I'm very expressive.
I got my first Botox as a 30th birthday present.
That's what I was going to do because you've inspired me.
Exactly. Yeah. Am I surprised by that? You can't tell.
I couldn't tell. Those bushy brows have stayed non-moving for the last hour and a half.
But it is fun. I do. It's fun to play, and I love a good, fun single-player experience.
Yes.
And plus, there's some Aussie talent behind it. I've also tried a little bit, actually, as recently as today, a little bit of Dosa Divas.
Yes, another one from Joy.
Another one from Joy when we were on Checkpoint.
Yeah.
I only just sort of played like the first maybe hour of it. Very interesting. So
Explain interesting.
interesting. I was like, okay, two main characters who are sisters, but I thought they were lovers, who travel around in a little banged up mech that they call the Goddess.
Oh.
They're looking for their other sister who started a fast food chain, but they're like chefs who make doses. And
That's the one.
And there's all these like little mini games to cook and make power-ups and turn-based RPG kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm sold just yet, but I'm intrigued by there's a lot of silliness in it.
It's a lot of camp. It also, when I was looking at the trailer when we were on Checkpoint, it has an interesting art style. It's definitely got a point of like view when it comes to the art style.
Yeah.
Like it's really making some strong choices.
Yeah. It's
whether it works or not is up to you.
It's a little out there at the moment.
Yeah.
Like even in like the opening kind of few hours of it, the turn-based fights are all with the lawyers that I believe that your fast food chain operating sister has sent after you.
Obviously.
And there's some great humor in it.
Yeah.
Like when they die, they're all like, "Oh my god, I plead the fifth," like and all this kind of stuff. Like, and they're like,
America.
and it's really like literally when they take their turn, they like crawl across the ground like a worm and then jump up and open a briefcase, which fires a whole bunch of papers at you.
hell?
It's really, it's
Bit tongue in cheek.
It's tongue in cheek and it's bonkers, and I don't know if I like it yet, but we'll find out.
It sounds like it's coming on a bit strong.
Yeah, I think it's being a little bit too ham-fisted with its humor.
Just based on what you're even telling me, I'm like, at least like warm it up a little bit before. Shove it in,
but
you know?
I'm only about an hour into it, so let's see how it goes. But what's really actually been taking my time is it's not a bargain game. We spoke a little bit about it last week. Is I picked up Pragmata.
Feel free to tell me what you want to say because I have things to say about it too.
Well, I mean, you haven't played it, but it's good.
Yeah.
I've
heard that.
It's good because I love a good single player experience.
Yeah, they're a bit of a rarity these days, these good single player campaign games. I feel like they're a dying breed.
Oh, it's so much fun to play. It's really challenging in parts. The story I could take or leave.
Yeah.
Like I find the little android girl a little annoying.
Diana and Hugh.
Diana and Hugh.
Yeah.
Although I did find out that I believe the voice actor behind Hugh, gay man.
He also sounds really hot.
Yeah.
I've listened to the voices.
Well, because I got a recommended post
horny.
on Instagram from his husband saying, "I'm so proud of my husband for voicing Hugh."
Well, I have a little bit of a tidbit about the voice of Diana, which I'll get to in my controversy section. But
Oh my god!
But go on,
But anyway, like the combat is great. It's just a good, fun single player romp, and I agree with IGN for once because IGN said this reminds me, or the reviewer on IGN said this reminds me of like the third person. Like shooter golden age of the Xbox 360
the 2010s
era. And it feels exactly like that. And it's this wonderful comfort food. Like, I don't think the graphics are as amazing as I thought they were going to be.
do you reckon they're necessary though?
Yeah.
Like for the
sometimes.
game, like does the story like prop it up enough, or do you reckon the graphics? Probably need to be there?
No, the graphics are fine. They're just not like blowing me out of the water all the time. But it is the RE engine. I think the RE engine does amazing things. I think it often leaves Unreal for dust in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired of Unreal, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah, because everything looks the same.
It's
with
all
the
just like
Unreal
this weird
engine.
waxy, like
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like, oh.
But the story is like rogue AIs, like it's ripped right out of today. Like they've intentionally made some of the environments look like they are AI slop because it is literally an AI that is building these environments around the character. But you were telling me about this. So literally, listeners, when we were having dinner at the pub beforehand, he goes, "Oh, have you seen the controversy on Twitter?"
That's exactly what I said.
I'm talking like Dolly Diamond.
Yeah, I was literally going to say very much a Dolly Diamond reference.
If anyone knows Dolly Diamond.
Had to be you.
But I said, don't tell me now. Tell me on the pod. What is going on?
What is going on?
What's happening?
Shout out to you, Dolly Diamond, by the way. I know you're not listening, but big fan. So
Not a sponsor.
Not yet. I unfortunately am a person who goes on Twitter. Unfortunately.
That's unfortunate for you.
It is unfortunate for me and my mental health. However, I was on Twitter, and because I knew about Pragmata, it kind of came up in my feed, and there was a lot of discussion around it being like a pro-natal storyline, where it's like trying to convince women to have kids again. So there was people posting their girlfriends starting the game being like, I hope this works, to try and cog women into wanting children. Very odd, by the way. But also,
Why would anyone want to raise a child in this world?
Literally. But also conversely, there was a lot of like lolicon. Do you know what a lolicon is?
No.
Like a shotacon? They're people that are really into like...
Don't reference another thing I don't know.
The only reason I bring it up is because lolicon and shotacon are people that are into like underage anime girls.
Ew.
Yeah, they specifically say it's not for sexual purposes. Bullshit is what I say. Sometimes it is, and they're like, well, it's a picture, bro. Still weird. They were a big fan of this game because obviously Diana is a young android child. So there was this big buzz about it on Twitter. Pronatal, it's recalibrating our women, trying to bring up the birth rates, but also simultaneously it's for the lolicons. Very odd. And then, literally like maybe 2 days ago, guess what happened? They all found out the voice of Diana is a black woman, and they've done a 180. I'm not even joking. They're like, another DEI hire, and they need to look like the person. And I'm like, have you played God of War? Kratos is voiced by a black man.
Wow.
So
I'm
that's what I'm
sorry,
saying.
but this is
And
what
now
you
that
get
I've-
for being on Twitter, you
I
dick.
know, but what I'm saying is I'm understanding this weird discourse straight away, but also to hear that Hugh is gay, I'm like, oh, honey, I hope that doesn't break soon.
Oh, honey.
Oh, honey.
Well, thank you for the representation, Capcom.
Thank you, Capcom.
Thank you, Cap. Dare I ask, my friend, my dear friend,
My sweet angel friend.
my sweet angel friend, what have you been playing?
Thank you so much for asking. Well, so I've been looking forward to Pokemon Champions for a very long time. I'm a big Pokemon fan. I know that no one's ever heard that before in my life. And I used to do a lot of competitive Pokemon
You know, we've
plays,
probably done
so-
more games, like
We've referenced it more.
repeated episodes themed about Pokemon, like outweighs almost anything else, and that's because I love you and I just want to
know.
keep you coming back.
But Pokemon Champions has been on the horizon for a long time. So Pokemon finally has made a game for just battling, which has been a long time coming. There's been a lot of third-party like things going on to support this. They finally brought it into the fold, for better or for worse. So competitive Pokemon is finally shifting away from like the mainline games, and it'll be hosted exclusively on Pokemon Champions. So now the future of competitive Pokemon will be on this. This mainline games will just be about like having fun, catching your Pokemon, loving your life, right? It's launched across both of the Switch consoles, and it'll eventually come to mobile in like a month or two. And it's currently slated for, so June 2026 release. So that's when the mobile is set to come out. But yeah, big fan.
I can tell.
I am literally
and we've
subjecting my
we've
life.
both been playing it. You've
Yeah.
probably played it more than me.
Yeah. I'm at Master Ball tier, so.
So tell me,
Uh-huh.
what is competitive Pokemon?
What a question,
You're like, I'm
David.
glad you asked, Davey.
Thank God I've got the time to
I
talk
know.
about it. So, you know, I'm not the exact spokesperson. I'm not Wolfie Glick or anything like that, who's like the top competitive player in the world. But competitive Pokemon is the strategy side of playing Pokemon, because Pokemon is a strategy game when it comes to the battling. It's a narrative game normally. When you battle, it's very strategy based. You've got type effectiveness, you've got moves that do different things, X, Y, Z. So competitive Pokemon is built around like team synergy, so like setting up your team to work like gears in a clock, some could say. They all want to work together to accomplish the goal, which is winning. Optimizing things like stats and stuff like that. You want to have like good prediction ability, so to predict who's coming when, who's doing what, but also knowing what's going on like in the meta. So like who's like the big fish at the moment that you have to try and beat, because sometimes there's one big Pokemon that's always taking over the fucking scene and you have to figure out how to beat it. So it's a mix of just like general strategy is what I would say it is. It's a very strategy-based process, but it's really fun. And I think the reason...
And it's always online, right?
Well, competitive Pokemon was always online for VGC. VGC stands for whatever it stands for. I actually don't know. But it's...
Wow.
Massive Pokemon fan.
Exactly, yeah. We're doing all our research here on the Pokemon game.
Listen, it is what it is, mate. Video game console.
VGC.
Whatever that is. But the thing is that is like tournament based. So that's always online. But VGC's always been stuck on the Pokemon games, which are all like a single person play. So now they've kind of ripped it out and said, this is where we're doing all the tournaments. This is where people can win all their money in the proper tournaments. Leave the games to the kids, which honestly, thank God. But competitive Pokemon is what I personally think it's one of the best parts about Pokemon, because it's so expressive. Building your own team, building all their moves, giving them their abilities, etc. It's like cooking. It's love. You get to like put everything into it, and if it fails, it fails, and if it works, it works. I could talk for hours. We don't have that long.
You have a bit of a history with competitive Pokemon, it seems. Tell me about your history with competitive Pokemon.
So back in the day, back in the Generation 5 era, so Pokemon Black, White, Black 2 and White 2, I used to do competitive Pokemon here in Melbourne. It was about 35 people in a room. And we would all battle, and it was the official one, and it was great. However, competitive Pokemon back then was extremely hard to get into because it's a lot of time you have to put into it. You have to breed a million different Pokemon. You got to work for XYZ. So that is my past with competitive Pokemon. I since stepped out of it and went to something called Pokémon Showdown, which we'll touch on a little bit more throughout the pod because it's got a little less of a barrier of entry. But competitive Pokemon is still very deep to my soul. I love competitive Pokemon.
No shit. So then let's talk about, okay, so it's all been consolidated into this one thing called Pokémon Champions. So what is Pokémon Champions?
What isn't Pokémon Champions? No, so Pokémon Champions is a purely online Pokemon battling extravaganza, some could say. So it's battle focused. So it's specifically built around just battling. So not like the classic things like story progression, gyms, whatever. The core gameplay is literally you just build and customize a team. You train and optimize them however you so desire, different stat spreads, whatever. You go into the online game and you battle. It's all ranked. You can do off-rank battles if you want to test some teams. But the main source of it is to be on that ladder and to be hustling and working towards champion. So you fight real people, you fight real teams, and yeah, it's really, really interesting.
So this used to be a feature in all of the mainline Pokemon, even Legenza?
Legenda was slightly different because of the real-time battle system.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But there was always an online competitive ranked mode in all the other games.
It's different now because this is exclusively this. So it's constantly happening.
That's what I'm saying.
In the main story games, it was only when there was official tournaments on and they hosted it.
Yeah.
This has never been a thing. There's never been I lied, there's Pokemon Showdown, but that's not official. But this is now them pulling in all of those competitive players being like, come and have this little ecosystem and build it together instead of waiting for the seasons to happen. So I personally think it's like a great step in the right direction. They've taken the impetus of what people want and they've made it into like a monetizable thing, which I guess for better or for worse is a good thing.
Yeah, and look, and that's why it's here on the Bargain Bin Gamers because it's free.
It is free.
It is free to play, which we'll get into a little bit more. I find myself when I play this, I'm like, who is this for? And how does it, I mean, you kind of just answered it a little bit there. Like, how does this differ from legacy competitive Pokemon? So if I'm hearing you correctly, competitive Pokemon existed in mainline games, but it was only, like, it was a timed thing.
Yeah, so they would have tournaments and they'd have like different brackets and things like that that would go on and they'd have different rules and things like that. The main difference that I've noticed at the moment is because there is a smaller pool of Pokemon, and we'll touch on this a little bit later as well. It's made it a little bit more condensed. Everything's a bit more controlled. Whereas when you had 1,025, 1,028 Pokemon, whatever, you pick your poison, I guess, it was a bit of a free-for-all. And it was very like top-heavy because it was obviously certain Pokemon that was so much better. Now, because of a selected pool and like everyone's moved over, I think it's healthier for the system and the company as a whole to segregate the two. Not segregation, but having the competitive people do their competitive thing and having a game built for story will probably be better. And that's the main difference, is that now they're two separate entities instead of all being forced to be on the same game.
Okay.
Which is beneficial.
You know what, the main thing I want to talk about is the free-to-play aspect, right? We're the Bargain Bin Gamers. Let's talk about how free-to-play this game actually is. How is it monetized, and is it worth spending money on the purchasable content? Because I know I downloaded... So I've been playing, by the way. I've been playing. And I bought the starter pack.
Yes.
I don't actually know what I got.
Okay, so I did the same thing, but of course I'm a Pokemon shill, so of course I did. So game came out, completely free to play, which I appreciate.
Because there's like a little thing that comes up that says, FYI, you can play all of this game for free, but there is some additional stuff that you can pay
if you want to,
Yeah.
which is how I like my games.
And as always, there's about 3 or 4 different types of
Yes.
in-game currencies.
So at the moment, the ones that we purchase is the starter pack, which in Australia is about $10.50.
Yep.
In the US, it's like $8.
$5 or something
Yeah,
like
it's like $7 or $8, right?
Okay, sure.
And what it does is it gives you,
Which isn't that much.
no, in the grand scheme of things, $10 for this game I think is a bargain.
Yeah.
It increases your storage box from 30 to 80. So the base is 30. You have a team of 6, so 6, 12, 18, 24.
You have a bigger box. is what I'm
Anyway,
hearing.
I've notoriously had one.
Yeah.
So now you have 80 slots. So you can have
box.
80 Pokemon
Yeah.
to pick and choose from. You get a
Which you can recruit every 24 hours.
Correct.
Or pay in-game currency to
get
recruit
them.
more
But that's the
often.
thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that classic free to play where it's like you can either spend time on the game or spend money. Pick or choose.
Yeah.
You
And
know
I
what
think
mean?
that was the only, like, what do they call it? Gacha?
Gotcha
That
style.
was only
yeah.
like gacha mechanics
I
I
will
think I've
give him-
seen so far is where if you go recruit a Pokemon,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, what's
What are you
available
gonna
in this
get?
pool?
I
Yeah.
do appreciate though that just off the dome, I can't remember, but I think there's 10 Pokemon every time you do that, maybe 8.
Yeah,
I think it's
but
10.
you can also you can spend less in-game currency to only have them temporarily.
Yeah, you can hire them or you can like own them.
Yeah.
So you've got
and
the
I'm
ability
always
to do that.
owning that shit. I don't want to
Me
fucking
too.
hire a Pokemon.
Me too. I'm very blessed, and maybe we'll talk about it at this point, but I'll quickly go through the final parts of the starter pack. So you get 50 training tickets and 30 teammate tickets. So teammate tickets are so that you can hire or rent a Pokemon, and training tickets is so that you can train your Pokemon, give them better abilities, give them better moves, XYZ. There's also a stupid thing you get. I said before this, I wasn't going to swear as much. You get an extra battle music track, which is for Pokemon Let's Go and Eevee. Who cares? But I'm very blessed. I have Pokemon Home, and I have trained a lot of competitive
Yes.
Pokemon through Pokemon Home. So
And that's designed to make sure that the people who have been
Exactly.
invested in competitive Pokemon like you don't
get the
have to-
reward.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Which I like. I have been doing it for a long time, whether like not passionately. I haven't got like a million Pokemon, but I had maybe 50 Pokemon that I could pick from. Some of them aren't in the game, some of them are. And Pokemon Home has a really good connectivity where they connect. Any changes you make in Pokemon Champions don't actually relate to the Pokemon. It's just solely when they're in that game. And then when they go back to whatever game you put them in, they're just how they were. So you're almost renting them from Pokemon Home, which I think is great. It's a reward for longtime players. However, I do think it's a slight barrier of entry for non-long, like legacy Pokemon players, because it means that they're kind of starting with just like the base options. They are lucky though that they get every day they get to pick a brand new Pokemon, and you start with 6, so it's not like you're behind.
Yeah.
So I still think it's pretty worth it. Did you like your like beginning team?
I did, and I've actually been surprised. I've been winning a lot in ranked matches. It doesn't feel like other games where there's ranked versions where I just do nothing but lose.
Yes.
I got the one that kind of reminds me of Samus. It's like Armor something or other.
Armor Rouge?
Armor Rouge.
Yes.
My Armor Rouge slaughters the competition
Yeah.
like 90% of the
They're
time.
pretty fierce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to that end up being enjoying it because I feel like I win a lot.
Yes.
But like, I don't know if I'm as big a fan of just battling.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, if you're a big competitive Pokemon fan,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna probably love this much like you are.
yes.
But I'm just sort of like going from like battle to battle to
Yeah.
battle.
Not
to
much
battle.
changes. You're
I'm
probably playing
just
the same
like,
team,
Okay,
like-
cool. And I've had some battles which have been great.
Yeah.
Really intense. Like I'm like, oh, am I going to win this? Am I going to not?
Yeah.
And then I have other battles which are over from either perspective in like a matter of seconds.
Yes.
But I also feel, I feel like that, it's just that one thing after another
Yeah.
that is maybe holding this game. Will hold this game back
Yeah.
for some people.
Of course.
I mean, but at the end of the day, it's free, and we've just talked about like the purchasable content, and it seems like the purchasable content is fairly innocuous and benign.
It is pretty good.
and superfluous.
Well, the thing about competitive Pokemon is it's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? So competitive Pokemon rewards like being able to be adaptable and changing on the fly and like having great like foresight, but that also makes you not enjoy the game as much because you're thinking too much about it. So it's almost like because you're talking from it where it's like, oh, well, I just play the game and I have fun. Whereas I know people where they're like, I have to predict whether he's going to switch or not. And if he does, is that going to set up like a sandstorm? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's competitive Pokemon is unfortunately very formulaic like that. So I think this is good.
Because it's all turn-based.
It's turn-based. It's positioning-based. It's like what's going on in the game. There's weather and there's terrains and there's abilities and there's all this stuff. And it's very complicated. And so I think sometimes it boils down to like a science, which kind of detracts from the whole point of Pokemon. But, you know, it's got its place. I think it's important that they've segregated it. I think it's really good that they have because now it means that like the actual games that are built for children, me, the 28-year-old playing the children's games, they can be for kids. And then they can have the competitive with the big kids over here. So,
okay. And it's had some mixed commercial reception. Now, we're going to do a fun little segment now, everyone. Because as a Pokemon fan, you know, Mitch reminds me of a Swiftie who refuses to admit that she phoned it in on her last album. When everyone else is throwing out the negative comments, he'll still be. If you remember, go back and listen to our episodes where we reviewed Pokemon Legends. Every time I criticized it, I thought he was going to stab my eyeballs out. So I have done a fun little segment here where I've collated some negative comments and feedback about the game, and I'm going to throw them at you, and you're either going to defend them. Or agree with them, or justify, or
I'll sit on the fence.
So I'm going to start with the first one, which has come from a few sources, but mainly I got this from Nintendo Live. There is a teeny tiny little Pokédex to choose from. So there is only 186 Pokemon available out of a possible 1,025. And fans have been vocal about this. It's less than 20% of the franchise's roster, and critics have pointed out the removal of many staple-held items like life orbs and choice specs as well. I've also, and what I have not written in the script, noted myself that you are often playing as the most highly evolved version of certain Pokemon too. Respond.
Okay, so first point, I agree. I wish there was more Pokemon in the game. I think that that's a fun thing to do. You should be able to play with your favorites. However, I would argue.
So hang on. So if you've got them in Pokemon Home, but they don't exist in the game,
I can't bring them in. I have tried. There are some Pokemon that I love, and some of my like reasons that I've built these Pokemon is so that they work in synergy together. They don't come over right. So I've had to change them up. However, I will argue on the point of this, competitive Pokemon is unfortunately wrought with big fish. There's specific Pokemon that always are top of the ladder. One of them is actually in this game, so I shouldn't talk too much. But they are Incineroar, the little tiger guy.
Yeah. I've beaten his ass a few times.
Well, you know, sometimes you can beat him. But there's a few other Pokemon that are very, very prevalent, and they're always there. And like because of Pokemon, how it's gone from Generation 1 to 9, there's power creep. So the Pokemon just get stronger and better, and all their abilities are better as they get older. Now, because there's such a limited dex, it's caused the competitive scene to actually think a little bit more. I've seen some really incredible creative designs and move sets and things like that are popping up online because of the limited pool. So I argue in the case of that, I think it's better because it removes some of those big fish and allows more Pokemon to flourish. There's some Pokemon that I've never seen in competitive that are working in this game. So I think that's good. I do believe that they will introduce more Pokemon at a later date. I think this is just kind of like the launch title, you know, like Marvel Rivals, and then they slowly drip us like characters. But I think for the moment, I think it's beneficial because it's letting the Pokemon that they want to shine. So like the Pokemon that are the new Megas from Legends EA are like shining a lot, and there's not a lot of competition for that. So I think it's kind of good.
I think it's good.
Did I convince you?
Well, I mean, I also think that this is a game that's going to evolve.
Yes.
And there will be, much like the Pokemon, and that there will probably be more Pokemon added over time. For sure. I mean, I would love to be able to like have battles as Charmander and not just Charizard, though.
The issue with that is that how are you going to play that? So I'll give you a good example. There's something called Little Cup, which is where you only play as the pre-evolved version of the Pokemon.
Yeah, well, why can't they do that?
I don't know why
I reckon they'll release it, though.
Surely they will. The only thing is, I don't know how they would ever integrate it into what they're currently doing, because you only get fully evolved Pokemon. But anyway, I hope they do, because I love Little Cup. It's quite fun.
Second one is the predatory monetization. The game has faced significant backlash for what many are calling predatory monetization. There is a monthly membership, which can unlock more Pokemon storage, more usable teams, and member-exclusive missions and battle songs, and even a cheaper version if you subscribe for a whole year. A paid battle pass offers unique cosmetic rewards, and a paid starter pack, which we've talked about already, is advertised as making it easier to both obtain and train Pokemon. As one player has put it, it feels like everything about the player experience was sacrificed for monetization. Respond.
I say bullshit.
What?
Whoever that is, shut up, is what I say, because
Deary me.
first of all, the game, as we mentioned earlier, starts saying you do not have to spend any money to get the full the full immersion of this game, the full enjoyment.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of a content creator called Wolfie Click. He's the world champion from however long. He purposely has never spent any money except for the starter pack, and that's it. Other things that he spent on were paid by ads and stuff, but he's like, I'm giving you the experience of what you would get as just a player. I will practice in my own time, but the stuff that I show you, this is what you can get. This game, you do not need to spend any money on. It's purely cosmetic. Storage, yes. I do believe that storage is probably important, but what's $10 for a game that I think is worth $30? Other than that, it's for music, which who listens to their Switch? I have my headphones in anyway, and customization of your avatar. As a gay person, I love customizing my avatar. You can do that by playing the game. There's in-game currency that you get by battling, and you will get the currency, and you can do that. You don't have to spend any money. The only conceit that I will give is for that box space, which I do understand.
Yeah, fair enough.
But also that is what? 6, 12, 18, 24. That's 5 teams.
Yeah.
You usually only use 2.
And I will give it that it's easy to jump in and out, and you can play a couple of on my lunch break at work today, I played a couple of rounds, and you earn a decent amount of in-game currency.
If you win, you get pretty good currency.
Yeah.
Even if you lose, you can usually win it back pretty quick. The only difference would be is that if you're not wanting to wait and play the game, and we've had this conversation a few times about these free-to-play games where it's it's time or money. Do you want to give time to the game or do you want to give money to the game? Pokémon Champions is a good, tipping point to that where it's do you want to sit there and battle over and over? And sometimes maybe it's going to get quite boring. I mean, I'll admit as well, I've done battles over and over and I get a little bored as well, but you get rewarded to play the game. So would you rather spend the money and cut the line or play the game? How's about that, Mr. Reviewer?
Yeah.
Or Miss Reviewer, not to gender.
Exactly. The next one is one that I'm big on, and that is the poor performance, the technical performance of the game, especially on Switch 2. On the original Switch, players report the game is locked at 30 frames per second and running at 720p. The Switch 2 version improves visuals slightly, but is still capped at 30 frames per second, and I think running at a lower resolution. Despite, say, for example, Pokemon Legends ZA, a far more graphically demanding game running at a solid 60 FPS on Switch 2. One Reddit user summed it up as, the frame rate even on Switch 2 is so awful. Massive downgrade from SV and ZA.
I agree. I don't know. But also, maybe this is just me being a little shit poster or something, but this is a competitive Pokemon game. What's the graphical issue? It's turn-based RPG gameplay. What would you like me to do with that?
I would just like a decent frame rate. And
I do agree with that.
I would I'm playing it on my massive OLED TV on my Switch 2 that I paid a lot of money for.
You can see every pixel.
I want the resolution.
I agree.
Because quite frankly, there's beautiful character models and all that kind of stuff, especially in the Pokemon.
Yeah.
I just want it to look good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I get as well that, okay, they're probably making concessions because there's going to be a mobile version.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I don't like that.
you can still be playing at 60 FPS and 4K resolution on your Switch 2 against someone who's playing it at whatever resolution they're playing on their phone.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree. I think Game Freak has never been great at doing this, if I'm going to be honest. And I don't know the technical backstory around maybe marrying it between the mobile Switch 1 and Switch 2, if there is any particular limitation that they're locked to. I don't know. I would expect a game like this to be 60 frames per 60 frames per second, I should say.
It should be. On the Switch 2, I'm sorry, it should be.
Well, this is the issue that I'm having is, why isn't it?
Yeah,
what is the technical limitation that you're stuck with?
Because the Switch 2 has been running a lot of its own first-party games so well, and then when I played this, it was so noticeable.
Yeah, of course.
And There's a number of bugs that have come up as well. Players have reported bizarre bugs, including enemy Pokemon healing themselves during battle without using items, and Pokemon getting deleted while using the home transfer feature. Have you experienced any of these bugs?
I haven't, but as a illustrious Twitter user, I have seen quite a few of them. I do believe that at time of recording, they have been pretty ironed out. However, still embarrassing for a AAA game developer like Game Freak to have those in their game. I think it's completely uncalled for. Even now, like I've seen some really interesting like bugs like fairly recently. Upon launch, they shouldn't be happening. I don't understand. Can I just quickly put something to a side? Why are we launching games that aren't ready? This is going to everyone in gaming. What are we doing?
Exactly.
Take the time,
and we've talked about it a lot before. But yeah.
But this is a bigger issue, and I'll rein it back in a second. But if the game's not ready, tell us and delay it. I understand this is a free game, so maybe like the bar of entry for like graphical issues and bugs is a little bit lower. Like we could probably allow more, but I still think that if the game isn't ready, don't release it. Just push it back.
Yeah,
it's going to be a better user experience. And I have seen some of these, especially because like, I mean, it's not like people are winning real money or anything, but it's probably important to some people if they're like content creators to have like good rankings. And if the game's just bugged and it's just F them over for no reason, I'd be pretty annoyed as well. So, and especially because Pokemon is such a strategic game, to have it just ruined by something stupid, it'd piss me off. So I do agree, the bugs shouldn't have never happened. There's probably still a couple bugs in there here and there. I have seen that they've mostly been ironed out. But upon launch, classic Pokemon. Can't launch a bloody game to save their lives.
Yeah, but he still spends the money.
I do. I most certainly do.
The next one is a little bit about like what we've spoken about already, which is the game has a bit of an identity crisis.
Yes.
Game Informer's review argues that Champions tries to cater to 3 different audiences: newcomers, casual fans, and competitive veterans. And by doing so, fails to properly serve any of them. Game Informer have concluded in their review that it works best as an additional mode bottled onto the main series rather than as a standalone product. Do you agree?
I do agree. So
you think it's failing?
Well, I don't think it's failing in what it's trying to do. I think it's admirably trying to do everything.
Yeah.
I think it should have really been just for people wanting to do competitive Pokemon. But unfortunately, the world that we live in is not built for that. Like, if you put a product out, it's supposed to be for everyone to make the most money. So I wish we could, and we've brought it up a couple times. There's a fabulous little website called Pokémon Showdown, which has been around for, I'm going to say 15 years.
Yeah, which is next on my list.
So we'll get into it. We'll get into it when we get there. You know, that has been an exclusive space for competitive Pokemon. You can sometimes
But it's
go
unofficial,
there.
right?
It's unofficial, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get into it. But the thing is that, like, the current issue at the moment is that Pokemon is really pushing for this game to be a thing, but it's a bit of a barrier of entry for competitive Pokemon. Competitive Pokemon is very tough to learn. And when you start the game, they force you to do a couple tutorials. You can do a couple extra ones, XYZ. But I think that the glass ceiling of competitive Pokemon is actually pretty severe, even when you strip back some of the issues. We didn't quite touch on them, but back in the day, competitive Pokemon was a very time-consuming process. You had to breed tons of Pokemon. You had to make sure that the perfect IVs, which I actually hate. I think they should go, and thank God they're gone in this game. Give them the right EVs, etc. And so it's just, they've streamlined it so much, but there's still a ceiling for people that they don't quite want to breach. And I understand why, because competitive Pokemon can be really difficult. And you are right. It is trying to cater to everyone. And I don't think it should have. I think it should have always been just for
Game
competitive
Informer's
play.
right, not me.
Well,
I didn't say it.
I shout out to
I don't
you.
care.
I do agree. I wish that there was like something that I could say otherwise, but that's what the main story games are for.
Okay. All right. And so why not just use Pokemon Showdown? Because Nintendo Life pointed out that Champions now has to compete directly with this unofficial fan-made project as a pure battle service. And right now, there's little good reason to play Champions over Showdown if you already own Scarlet and Violet.
I agree. I do. I'm a massive proponent of Pokemon Showdown. I have used that service for, I'm going to say, a decade. Pokemon Showdown is the optimal way to play competitive Pokemon at this current moment, as of time of recording. The reason is because Pokemon Showdown has every Pokemon in it. It has every item in it. You can customize it exactly how you want. You don't have to waste any time in it. You can literally log in and build a team and go, which is what I was hoping Champions was going to be, which it unfortunately isn't. So, I'm a massive Pokemon fan, don't get me wrong, but sometimes these fan-made things are much better because it's made with passion and not with capitalism in mind. So I would say go play Showdown. If you want to dip your toe in, if you don't want to waste your time, go play a little bit of Showdown. It's a little bit of a different beast because you've got 1,025 Pokemon to deal with. And I'm a massive proponent of supporting it. I hope it doesn't go away. But yeah. Sorry, Pokemon Champions.
I'm really surprised at just the fact that you're willing to be like, do you know what? This feedback is correct.
It is. It's true, though. The Pokemon Showdown has been it's literally been like the pinnacle of like the competitive Pokemon scene for so long.
And it's probably also been this wonderful, like, community-based, fan-made thing that is now being rolled over by this new product, which brings me to the final bit of feedback I want to talk about, which is the live service trap. Some community voices have noted that the free-to-play format means the product is essentially in a perpetually unfinished state, with the promise of future improvements used to keep players returning. A baked-in feature of the model rather than a genuine roadmap. Will people stick around, though?
I think they will. I think
it's Pokemon.
Number of people will diminish, though. I think that's just only natural. Like, this is a product designed for a specific audience, and they've cast a wider net to try and catch extras. But those extras are going to wiggle out. They don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So they will inevitably go. But I think that's the thing. They're trying to, as the kids would say, like, reheat some of Pokemon Showdown's nachos. But Pokemon Showdown doesn't have...
The kids would say that?
That is very on trend.
Who says that? I'm going to reheat your nachos.
It's when you, like, try and do something that someone else has already done before. Like, oh, they're reheating their nachos. You're welcome. That's
dumb.
Anyway, kids, right? But the thing is that Pokemon Showdown doesn't have the biggest, like, audience base in the whole world. So they're kind of competing with each other, and they're just going to slowly condense into, like, the diehard Pokemon fans. I think the general population are going to filter off, and they'll play the main stories games. So, but also to contrary that, not to be terrible for time, but we play free play games that are always getting updated all the time. You've got Fortnite, you've got Genshin Impact, you've got Marvel Rivals, you've got Overwatch. These games are constantly in an air quotes perpetual state of development.
But those games have always been like that. This is a long-standing, like,
franchise,
you know what I mean, like mainstream release, paid franchise that is now trying to take what was part of the main experience and turn it into a live service model.
I agree.
So you've got to keep that in mind. That is what is going to be a difficult shift for people, right?
It already is.
Listen to me talking to you like a naughty child.
Yeah, you're like my dad.
Like whoever that is. But anyway,
shout
out. Anyway, so I think it's going to be interesting to watch how this evolves. If people stick around, will Pokemon Champions have legs? I don't think either of us could really say right now.
I know it'll have the legs in the VGC sense. Like, it will be...
If you knew what that meant.
If I knew what the acronym was. But I know that it will have that because that's where all of, like, the esports style Pokemon is going to be held. So it's going to have at least that as the tent pole for the reason its existence. That's why it's there. So it will get coverage. It will get play. Will it have the legs to actually have a big user base? That's the question. Because at the moment, you can log onto a game, you get a game in minutes. But if you're in the wrong rank and the people are quite sparse, who knows how it's going to shake out. So,
yeah. Well, there you have it, everyone. Pokemon Champions from the Pokemon shill himself.
Pokemon, sponsor me, please.
Exactly. I mean, God knows if those little monsters are on the cover, this going to play them.
I will.
Yes. But and look, and you know, I don't mind having it. It's free to play. You know what I mean? It's not the fact that it's free.
Yeah.
And the fact that you really don't have to spend money to win, I think is fine.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's like the next big free to play thing yet. Yeah. Well, that's Pokemon Champions, everyone, and we're going to do a little bit something a little bit different, to take the show out.
A little bit different.
We're gonna do a quick roundup of upcoming releases to end the show, everyone. I've done a little bit of research, so let's take everyone through what is coming up in gaming between now and the end of April, starting with the new expansion to the popular dungeon crawler Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred, coming out on April 28th. 28th. Are you a Diablo player? Have you ever been a Diablo player?
I put so much time into Diablo 3 and 4. I've fallen off Diablo 4 as of the last year, but I'm a massive Diablo fan. It's a fantastic game.
It's fun if you've got people to play.
Well, that's what happened back in the day. I was dating someone who will not be named, and we used to play with all of his friends, and it was so much fun. We would just spend all night playing it. At the moment, because no one I know plays it, I don't play it. So
Yeah, I'm the same.
Caught in the web.
I would love, like, I've got it, like, I think I've got it on my PS5. But
Yeah, me too.
Because I've got no one to play with, it feels like an empty experience. But anyway, that's coming to PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One? Is that coming? Yeah, it's coming to Xbox One, April 28th. Next, we've got He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Dragon Pearl of Destruction.
What a name.
Which is the 16-bit style side-scrolling beat-em-up based on the classic 80s cartoon series. I guess you're way too young for He-Man.
Sorry, He-Man is too gay for me. Why did that even happen?
I have the power.
Yeah,
There's a new movie coming out. Based on that.
I saw the trailer. It kind of turned me on, actually. Yeah. What's it called? No, He-Man is a little bit, unfortunately, outside of my demographic. Please, Davey, tell me.
Nah, well, I mean, I was more a She-Ra fan.
See, I know She-Ra more than
She-Ra.
He-Man.
She-Ra was the Xena to He-Man's Hercules. But anyway, it does look very faithful to the original 80s cartoon that's coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Switch on April 28th. The next one is called Will Follow the Light, a story-driven first-person adventure puzzle game about a perilous personal journey through the harsh northern latitudes.
The northern latitudes.
That sounds like your very typical indie kind of spooky. Yeah, it's very story-driven. I mean, like, it looked very artsy and fun. I didn't know too much about it. But anyway, that is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, also on the 28th of April. And again on the 28th of April, popular day is Wise Memoir, a revelation in Selketa to the Nintendo Switch, which is a re-release of an old PlayStation Vita game, as best I can tell. Good for that. On April 29 to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Nintendo Switch family of consoles is MotoGP 26. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. On the 30th of April, coming in is a Nintendo Switch version of a 2020 survival horror game, Amnesia Rebirth.
Classic Amnesia.
Yeah, did you play Amnesia?
I never played, however, I was just at the age bracket to watch PewDiePie play the original Amnesia. So Amnesia has
PewDiePie, Jesus.
back in the day when he wasn't like a weird racist. Yeah, Amnesia has a small place in my heart. So it's good to see that it's still thriving, I guess.
I watched the trailer on the Switch store.
Look good?
Look good, yeah. Look creepy as fuck.
Amnesia is notoriously very spooky. I think it helped to pioneer that like creepy, paranoid, scary thing for gaming instead of jump scares only.
All right, let's keep going. Adorable Adventures coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
Damn, get it out, girl.
On April 30th. Adorable Adventures is a relaxing third-person exploration game where you play as Boris, a curious baby boar who must learn to use his nose to reunite with his family who were separated after a forest fire.
How lovely.
That's like it's almost like Bambi. On April 30th as well is Busbound coming to PC,
Laughing at your note
Xbox
about it.
Series X, and PlayStation 5. And it is a bus simulator.
Davey's note literally is under it is a bus simulator, ... Okay.
Yeah. Invincible Versus coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X on the 30th of April as well is a brutal superhero 3v3 tag fighting game set in the Invincible universe, which I know nothing about.
It's not that good, so I wouldn't stress about it. Sorry to all the Invisible fans.
Yeah. This one I think a lot of people are looking forward to. On the 30th of April, we've got Saros.
Yes.
Which is the next big PS5 thing. It's a third-person action game that combines bullet hell, third-person shooter, and roguelite elements.
We saw it at PAX.
We did. It does look impressive.
It looks impressive, but it also looks very interesting. Seeing like a bullet hell game in Our Lord 2026 is a little bit of a shock to me.
But the it looks graphically stunning and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this will be. This will probably be the next Claire Obscura that I don't play.
I can't believe it.
And the next one on this list is the one that I actually thought looked the most interesting. Inkonbini, and I'm probably saying that right. Inkonbini, one store, many stories, coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PC, and the Nintendo Switch consoles on the 30th of April. Inkonbini. A One Store Many Stories is a third-person single-player simulation game created around a small-town convenience store in the early 1990s. Shelve goods, engage in meaningful conversations with your customers, and see how choices you make impact their lives.
This is literally a game for you.
Love it. And it's like a Japanese convenience store.
It's giving like gas station story.
Oh, and it is gas, yeah. But like with modern graphics and all that.
Obviously, yeah.
And go and look it up. Like it looks like the Steam page. I was like, oh my god, this game looks ridiculously.
What kind of graphics
charming.
is it? Is it like 8-bit? Is it like 3D?
No, it's not. It's not like. It's kind of like you have to go see it.
Okay,
It's
I'll
kinda-
check it out.
I can't describe it. I just can't describe it.
Indescribable.
Yeah, exactly. And the last one, Heroes of Might and Magic, Olden Era is coming to PC on the 30th of April into early access, which is another entry in the cult turn-based strategy series that I know nothing about.
Cult turn-based. Very good note there, darling.
Yes. Do you know much about Heroes of Might and Magic?
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing.
And that is going to be the show.
That's going to be the show because we've really gone over our time here in the Bulldog.
Bulldog Otis
And
fucking time
I
anyway.
need to pee like you wouldn't believe.
Some of us can hold it between the pods, whereas some of us can't.
But anyway, this has been really fun. And tune in next time because next time we're going to be joined by Elliot and Luke from Checkpoint Gaming over at Joy 94.9 to hear the story of Checkpoint Gaming, the most iconic LGBTQIA plus video game radio show in Australia, as far as I'm concerned.
As far as anyone should be concerned, some would say.
Yep. So join us for that because until then, I've been Davey.
And I've been Mitch.
And we've been the Bargain Bin Gamers. Chortle.
Cough off.
Cough off.